Welcome to the Amateurs NYC. I'm your co-host, Edwin Asensio, with my partner in crime, my host, Darryl Ishmael. And we got some breaking news today, guys. The diva has gone to the diva town. Odell Beckham, the former New York Giant and Cleveland Brown wide receiver, has gone to the place where he's, I guess, welcomed at home, with the Los Angeles Rams, bro. Can you believe that shit, bro?
Out of all of the places that he could have gone, it's really like OBJ's free agency.
It kind of
Like he
is
was
almost.
he was like, listen, if you suck, don't come to me. Don't pick me up. So it was pretty crazy. That was probably the most entertaining free agency, mid-season free agency moves that I've seen from the NFL ever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sean McVay is obviously that guy. He's when he says people are gonna get touches, they're gonna get fucking touches. That man knows how to fucking work a fucking NFL offense. He does it better than anybody in the NFL. And he realized when Jared Goff sucked fucking dog nuts, he fucking got rid of him and got somebody who could actually do the fucking job that he needed to get done. And it looks like this team is gonna win the Super Bowl. So with the addition of Odell Beckham Jr., it obviously is very clear that this team wants to win a Super Bowl. And OBJ is gonna get a ring before the Giants organization.
Wow. Wow.
It looks like. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. It could not.
It's
There's a man named
possible.
Tom Brady that wants another ring on his finger. But wouldn't it be a son of a bitch as like a New York fan? And
Yeah.
like I know it's like flippity flop with Odell. Like you got your New York fans that hate Odell, and you
Mm-hmm.
got your New York fans that love him and adore him and respect everything he's done for our franchise. It's gonna be very bittersweet, and it's either like it's gonna be a bittersweet moment, or it's gonna be like a kick in the ass to people that hate Odell. I know Mike Francesa's gonna be kicking
He's
himself.
gonna be punching air, bro. It's funny you say that though, to be honest, because I think as Giants fans and as a fan of, we were a fan of him. Obviously, me and you we were very
Still
high on
am.
Odell. But still, I support Odell Beckham. I'm still behind. I'll be happy for him if he wins a ring. Don't get me wrong. But I just personally, I like I mentioned, it's kind of home for him. It's kind of a guy that deserves, that wants that attention, and no other city would obviously fulfill it. Obviously, if you go to Green Bay, what the hell's in Green Bay? To be honest, let's be real here, bro. Like, what's in Green Bay? What's over there that you can do and be like, you know what, I could go out on the town, or like, other locations like New England, the Patriots. Like, I mean, you had the pretty crappy weather in New England, and then I mean, you get to play with Bill Belichick. That was one of the options he had. Like, that was one of his teams. And then I think I surprised the hell out of me that he was decided to go to Los Angeles. But then again, Los Angeles is kind of, they're all in, like all the chips are in. So for him to be in that city where it's a lot of drama, and Los Angeles, kind of there's big lights, kind of how New York is. There's a lot of, big lights, big stage. Super Bowl's gonna be there. Los Angeles Rams playing lights out football up until this past week. I mean, I'm shocked. Everybody was shocked about the decision. I didn't think the Rams were going to make a run at anything, but now they got a freaking crazy, crazy squad. Now they got Von Miller. They signed him on defense, right? They got Stafford in the offseason. They still got Cup. They still got Woods. They got Aaron Donald as well to be with Von Miller. And now they got, OBJ to that, bro. Like, forget the draft picks. Fuck the draft picks. The GM's like, fuck all y'all draft picks. I don't need the draft picks. I'm going for the ring. I'm going for that chip. So the signing, a surprise, but hey, does it change your offense? To be honest,
Listen, first, before I speak on that, put some respect on Jalen Ramsey. He's been one of the best
oh yeah.
cornerbacks
Well,
in the NFL.
yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry about Jalen. Yeah, that's right. I can't forget about that secondary. I just immediately thought of like
Oh
the
yeah, the
the
main,
line that
but
they
he's
have.
he's a big part of the
No, he's a big part.
defense.
He's a big piece of that defense. But I just had to initially think about their defense, the defensive front. Like, you have Von Miller, Aaron Donald. If you're an offensive line, if you're a coach, an offensive line coach, and you tell your guys, you got your matchups this week is Von Miller and Aaron Donald, then you're gonna be like, damn, I have my work cut out for me.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, bro. Does it change the offense at all? Do you
Of
do anything different about the offense?
No, bro. You don't have to do anything different. You're doing the same shit. You just put an OBJ in the fucking like I don't
You
know how
just
that's gonna work.
plug and play, you
Like
think?
the way I see this situation is a lot like when AB got reinstated to the NFL last year,
Mm-hmm.
and he had the choice to pick wherever team he wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
Football, like I've always said, I said it in the previous episodes, football takes a long time for you to get acclimated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, quarterback position obviously more so than the other positions. Like wide receiver, you could tell somebody just run a straight line and they could do it. But obviously, there's moving parts to the Sean McVay offense, and it's gonna take time for him to get used to it. And we might not see great production from him until the playoffs or when he's more comfortable with the offense. So it might take a month or two for him to get acclimated with the offense, establish chemistry with Matthew Stafford
Yeah.
and all the other guys in the locker room. But I'm pretty sure um, the team is excited to have him. Obviously,
Oh,
you saw.
100%.
I don't know if you saw Von Miller was FaceTiming OBJ as he
Oh, I
um
didn't see that now, bro.
yeah, he was in the process. He FaceTime Von Miller. I know they're very close friends, so it's good that they're together now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what OBJ can do because it feels like he was blackballed in Cleveland. Like they don't want to give him the ball. There's video evidence, there's proof in all these games that OBJ gets open and he's not getting the ball. He's not getting the attention. And obviously that pisses OBJ off. And that pisses other people off. But think about it. You're doing your job, and your job
Mm-hmm.
is to produce, and you get incentives for producing, putting up numbers, and you're not seeing those results. And if you could make adjustments, to get where you want to be, because OBJ demands greatness. The reason
Oh,
why
of
he's so
course.
hard as him, I feel like the reason why he's so hard as himself is because he knows that he's great and he wants to show it to the world every given Sunday.
Yeah,
Am I right or
definitely.
am I wrong?
You're right. Absolutely, you're correct. There's obviously a demand for on upon himself to be the best that he could be on the field, to be the best for his team, for his teammates. Like I mean, like we mentioned, in the last episode about the controversy in Cleveland and him not getting the targets and them not throwing the ball in his direction. Baker Mayfield, there's a whole beef against him and OBJ. So now that you have somebody that's kind of it's a different situation that you have an established quarterback in Matthew Stafford, even though it's his first year in this like in the system now. But Stafford's been in the league for a good amount of time. You wouldn't say, I mean, 2009 and now it's pretty 12 years is a long time. So you have a different quarterback. It's kind of like if you're playing again with like I wouldn't say Eli Manning, but the only other quarterback that the Beckham's played with that has that much of a resume, that much experience is Eli Manning, and then him in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield is kind of different. Now he was kind of getting his reps in. Now you have somebody that's established again, but then again you have the whole entire offense you have to think about. Yeah, is there too many mouths to feed? I don't know. I mean, do you think there's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense now? Or
No,
not.
no,
All right. So
no, I don't think so.
it's a good thing that he kind of figured his way into a Super Bowl contender now, and to be in that squad, to be in this position now, as being in the league for this long already, for a few years already, for the last 6 7 seasons, well 7 seasons you could say. It's been a ride for him now. Now he's gonna have the best opportunity, like a Super Bowl or bust, obviously for the Rams. I don't think there's any other like you can't have a different finish than hosting the Lombardi Trophy, and obviously they're playing it at home, so you have a good like they're going. I don't think I've ever seen a team that goes this. I guess this hard in at the trade deadline and a free agency, and not to sign this guy, Odell Beckham, a guy with his talent. This is nuts to see how they get. No, obviously, this is crazy to be honest.
All honesty, I just want him to see. I want to see him shine. I don't want to like the fact that he was in Cleveland and like he was just a shell of himself. I feel like it speaks more to Cleveland. Just they're realizing like this is not the type of guy that we want. On a tangent here, Baker Mayfield is the most average quarterback I've ever seen. He's better at doing progressive commercials
than
than
playing the quarterback position.
no, bro. I just think like Baker Mayfield is not one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. Like he's so mid, and the fact that you like, bro, OBJ alone could have made Baker Mayfield an elite quarterback
Yeah.
if he looked his way,
Yeah.
bro.
No,
All you have to
yeah.
do is get him the ball, and OBJ is gone. He's gonna work, bro, and we're gonna see that with the Rams offense. They're gonna find creative ways to get him the ball, and that man is gonna perform. That's just a fact.
I like how you mentioned the Baker Mayfield and him being a mid. I guess he's kind of an average tier quarterback, which I'm not gonna disagree with you. But the game that they played against this past weekend, Baker Mayfield had a terrific game, and that was their first game without, that was their first game after Odell said, "I'm out of here." Like, I don't know. Like, do you think he had a great, you think it was his fault? I mean, you scored 41 points against the Cincinnati Bengals for 2 tutties, 218 yards.
Bro,
There's
that
a,
is a
there's a
mid stat line, bro.
but
That
that's
is
the best.
not
Okay,
amazing.
I understand that, but this so far this season, that was his best game statistically. And
Exactly.
it's a coincidence that you've had this game after Beckham had left, after maybe you had kind of like, I don't know, maybe like a burden. Can you say it was a burden on Baker Mayfield on that whole Cleveland? I'm not gonna speak on. I don't know. We're not Cleveland. I don't know how the Cleveland Browns work, but off of going for that off of that one game and the controversy that was there, to have Baker have a clear mind, I guess, to be like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna go out there, play ball, and have the best game of the season, essentially, against a team that's basically Cincinnati has been kind of leading that division. Is it really? Maybe it was Odell. Maybe it was just Odell trying to be pushy and pressing his agenda on him at the same time. I'm not defending Baker. I mean, Baker Mayfield, I get what you're saying, bro. Like, kind of, average quarterback, but the stats, a good game that he had Sunday, kind of speaks for us. Like, all right, maybe it's not him. Maybe it was Odell, but
That's an
forget about
interesting
him.
perspective. That's an
Yeah,
interesting
no,
perspective.
yeah, forget about him now. I would want to see. This is a little pointer here now. So a few weeks ago, I told myself, I was like, I have a bandwagon team because the Giants were pretty down bad. They're still kind of down bad now. We're not gonna get into that. But I had the Packers as my squad. I told you, bro, I have a bandwagon team, the Packers. You were going with Arizona, correct?
Yeah, I'm still rocking with
You
Arizona.
still rocking Arizona, all right? Even though they lost
Kyler
to
Murray, bro.
Kyler Murray, bro. They lost the
They
game
didn't
against the
have Kyler
Packers.
Murray. They didn't
They
have
were
Kyler
injured
Murray,
last
bro.
weekend against the 49ers. So um now I'm still behind the Packers. Now the Packers have a little bit of a situation on their hands. We're not gonna get into that. But now that you have Los Angeles being the team that they are now, I think definitely the NFC Championship will be those two teams. But I'm not gonna stray away. But I won't be mad if Los Angeles wins the chip, to be honest, bro. I will not be mad. Like, would you
I don't
be
really
upset
care who
about
wins the
that?
shit.
I don't think I'll be upset. No, I'm just saying, you have like a team in the Super Bowl, you rather have
Yeah,
them win than them win. So I don't know
yeah.
who will come out the AFC. I think it's like such an open field in the AFC. But in terms of NFC now, you come in, with the Rams, the Cardinals, the Packers. There's other teams, the Tampa Bay Bucks. Can't forget about them. It's gonna be crazy. Like, that playoff race in the NFC is gonna be nuts. But like, if the Rams go and win the Super Bowl this season, I will not be upset about it. Obviously, I think a lot of the guys on that squad deserves the chip, and they obviously made
Yeah.
a lot of moves and changes to the roster to put him in that position. So I would not be upset. Basically, like, I wouldn't be upset if they won the whole damn thing. I'm still standing by the Green Bay Packers. All right. I still think who they have at quarterback over there, Aaron Rodgers, despite whatever's been going on, still can ball out and still can get his team to wins. And I'm sticking by that bandwagon squad. But that's this whole thing, this whole trade situation. I'm in a trade situation. Odell signing kind of changed everything for the entire National Football League now. So
No, yeah, of
see how
course.
that goes.
You're speaking of playoffs, you're speaking of Super Bowl and all that stuff.
No,
Did you
don't go there.
know?
Don't go there, bro.
Did you know that New York has finally approved its official vendors for sports betting in New York?
Really?
Did you know that?
I I
So,
thought I thought we
come
were.
on, New Yorkers, we're gonna be able to bet legally within the state on the DraftKings app, on the FanDuel app, Sportsbook app, whatever. We're gonna be able to bet. We're gonna be able to get this money, and the amateurs is gonna open up a segment called "Put Your Fucking Money Up," inspired by one of our close friends. So be on the lookout because once New York starts betting, we're gonna go crazy, bro. I feel like it's gonna be very easy and simple to bet. You know, you just app on your phone. I got $20 here. I'll put on the next game to cover. They got me. You know what I'm saying. So
No,
I think that's amazing news.
I think I don't really bet a lot, and you know me, bro. I'm not one to bet
You're not a
on
betting
games.
man.
I'm not a betting man. No, I not that I'm not confident. It's just I don't know if I want to lose money on something I can't really. I mean, that's the whole thing. You can't control it. It's kind of like fantasy football. It's kind of out of your hands if something goes crazy or somebody just goes off. So to have like a gambling thing, I can't speak on it, but I think that's great for the state. To be honest, you're bringing a lot of obviously bringing a lot of revenue in. You got to be obviously responsible when you're betting you're betting and gambling on stuff like this. But I think it's a long time coming that we're trying to do this though. To be honest.
Well, Cuomo was out here sexually assaulting people, so we managed to get a lot of things done,
Mm-hmm.
on the progressive side of the New York, thing,
Yeah.
on the progressive slate. So, marijuana is legal. We got betting. So, I think New York is a great place to live, aside from, the fucking crazy tax rate. But
Yeah.
I digress. I just think it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to giving out some picks, giving out some covers and all that shit. I think that's fun.
Yeah. It's statistically, yeah, I know you being the guy you are, you obviously are very invested into this, into the, into the overs and unders, the spreads, all of that. So I think it's great. I think person like yourself, you love that kind of stuff. I'm for it. Don't get me wrong, I'm for it. I haven't dove into that platform, so it'll be interesting for me to see how it is and how I can like play across these things and see how they work.
No, see,
Honestly.
nah, see, I'm thinking out loud here, and we're in a podcast, so we can do shit like that. What I'm thinking for this like particular segment is that I give my pick with my reasoning, and you would explain, or like you would tell me why, like you think that's a good or bad pick. Because yesterday, CJ he hit us up and he's like, "Yo, this is my parlay for the day. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think?" And I was like, "CJ, I'm not feeling the Dallas Mavs at the Bulls. I just think that Chicago is crazy right now. Their team is
Yeah.
good. The fans are gonna be crazy. It's gonna be hard to win in that environment." And I was right. So I got my man's extra $326 yesterday. So I'm not saying that I'm amazing. I feel like I know how to pick them. You know what I'm saying?
That's the you have to yeah. Would you say you're like a guru almost?
I don't think I'm a guru. I just think logically sometimes, and it works out. I win more than I would lose.
Well, shout out to you and shout out to CJ, honestly. But yeah, definitely, man. I'm interested to see where I might obviously we have just you might think something differently about this game. You might be saying, hey, the Knicks play the
Exactly.
certain squad. I think personally, like I might think the Knicks might be doing good against this team where there might have some opportunities in there and they might not have some opportunities in there. So I'm interested to see where I come in. Like maybe you might be right, maybe I'm right, maybe you're right. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely for that. As kind of it's a lot of things they're trying to promote now in New York and in advertisements and MGM and one of those, FanDuel, MGM, DraftKings. They have some of these advertisements when I was at the Garden on Sunday, and
It
they
was
had
at
a
the
few.
Garden.
I was at the Garden, bro. They had a
Bing
couple of these
bong.
advertisements at the Garden in the next game, and saw that they're trying to. push that as well in New York. Speaking of the Knicks, and speaking of being at MSG, the greatest arena in the world, I'd say. I guess I stand by these statements. I think MSG is the best arena, the best place to watch anything. I stand by this. I was there. Where our boy Cam, good friend of ours, best friend, Cameron, and we was in the building for the Cavs and the Knicks. I was kind of second level. It was kind of a crazy experience to be back there. It's been about, geez, I haven't gone to see the Knicks since 2017. So it's been about 4 years since I've gone. It was a long time coming for me, and being in that building, bro, was incredible. I had the most fun I ever had at an event. And you know me, I've been to a lot of Mets games. I've been to a lot of the Giants games. I've been to a few Nets games, you know, et cetera. You've been to Yankee games. You know, we've been to a lot of different places, you know, and you know how the energy is, generally
Yeah.
speaking, in baseball, different sports, kind of laid back, kind of sometimes there'll be moments of excitement. Sometimes I could compare that building to being, I would imagine how the place would be in the playoffs, or if there's a like against a crazy opponent, or like opponent where they're trying to like with a high, you know, they're the underdog essentially. Bro, that place was jam packed, loud as that shit was loud, bro. And they had the defense chants, and you know how you watch it on TV, you the defense chants, you know, with the organ. Yo, the whole place is getting loud, bro. Up until like the fourth quarter, third quarter, the Knicks had their problems that game. They soiled it. They let freaking Ricky Rubio score 37 points on our head, a career high at the Garden. Like, that's a whole other story. The Knicks defense didn't kind of play that night. But up until that point, bro, when the Knicks were in it, bro, the Knicks are in it, and they were feeding off of that crowd energy. Uh, the Garden is miles ahead better than the Barclays Center. I told you this before, that those two venues energies are completely different. This casual vibe at the Barclays Center, but on a Sunday night at the Garden, you know, people have to be working tomorrow and they'll start the work week Monday. A lot of the fans in the Garden were diehards. It's not the general casual fans unless you're sitting by courtside. But other than that, a lot of people in the building, a lot of them are diehards, bro. And you know, I definitely want to go back. I definitely want to be back there as soon as I want to go back there this week if I could, honestly, bro. It was that fun, man.
Speaking of venues, you're going to UBS.
Oh yeah, yeah.
UBS Arena.
I'm gonna go see. I don't know if you heard of it, bro. I'm gonna go see. Something called WWE. Maybe you heard of it. Um, UBS
Yeah,
Arena, WWE. Maybe you heard of it, bro. I don't know. John Cena, ring a bell, right? Right? No, fuck with you.
I've heard of him. I've never
You
seen
heard
him.
it? Yeah, I never seen him either. No. Yeah, I'm gonna be there at UBS Arena, man. First WWE event.
When
I've
are you
never
going?
gone.
When are you going?
29th, November 29th. Be sure to. I'll definitely put that on the. I'll do my best to document the experience on Twitter and try to
You're
give
going to see
some perspective on it. But I'm excited to
Monday
be in
Night
that
Raw.
place, man. Yeah, Monday Night Raw. Never gone. First time for everything, man. So that's gonna be out of the 26 years of my life, I've never been to an event. So I was like, holy shit.
I mean, I did go to a couple of wrestling events.
Yeah, you've
They're
gone,
pretty
right? Yeah.
fun. I
Yeah.
seen I got lucky and I got to go both of the times they were in MSG. I got very lucky. I was way up there, I didn't, but like it was crazy because I saw John Cena got beat the fuck out of, bro. It's fucking nuts,
I think
bro.
it was one of those like holiday shows, right?
No,
If
it
I
was
remember.
no, no, no. So the first show that I ever went to, it was a Monday Night
SmackDown?
Raw show. No, 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 it
Okay.
was Monday Night Raw, and Monday Night Raw was lit. Like at the time that I went, it was like like mid 2010s. No, not
Like
even like early
early
2010s.
2010s, you know, Shawn Michaels, no, Triple H was still around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All of them were there, and I forgot the storyline, but I just know at the end it was crazy. It was crazy. And then the one that I do remember was like 2016, 2017. I went to like one of those events where they do a show, but it's like it's rehearsed, and they did a match with John Cena and Bray Wyatt,
I think I know what
It's
you're
pretty
talking.
cool.
Those are kind of
The NBA
these-
Go, WWE Go,
they're like WWE live events. They kind of have like
yeah, the
dark
live.
matches. They don't really have an entrance, right? They don't really have like a little they
They
don't have that
do,
big
but it's
thing. They
not.
don't have that big
Yeah,
thing there. Yeah, okay.
it's
I've
not
heard
as
about those.
exaggerated.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
I'm going to is that
the
I guess
show.
what they have on TV. Yeah, like the TV
Yeah,
tapings. That's what they call it. The TV
yeah.
tapings. I'm interested to see how I'm excited to see how UBS looks like. I'm excited to see
Inside,
how
I
yeah,
see it
I'm really
outside
like
every day.
we see it outside almost every day, being nearby it. I'm excited to see how it's gonna look inside in that venue really. I don't think it'll top I don't think it'll top MSG, but what would you list if you had to pick like what would be your top 5 like or places that you've gone and you want to go like venues in terms of all sports, not just baseball, not just NFL, NBA in general. And don't be biased about the Yankee Stadium because Yankee Stadium is kind of I don't Yankee Stadium's not on
I
my
get it,
list.
bro. I get it. Amenity wise, Yankee Stadium is not it. Like you said, I feel like the experience that I get in City Field is a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I am not disagreeing with you. I agree with that statement that City Field is kind of better than Yankee Stadium in terms
It
of
is better.
experience
It's better.
outside of watching baseball. When you
It's
go to
better.
Yankee Stadium, you're going to watch baseball. Okay, I get it. And there's shit to do like all over the stadium, and that's fun.
Mm.
Um, I really, really, really like at the top of my list is Coors Light Field or Stadium. That's
Well, the
the
Rockies
that's the
ballpark.
Rockies. Yeah.
Yeah,
I want
Colorado.
to one day in the summer, I think that would be like the best like day like
Oh,
of my
definitely,
life. You get to
definitely.
go baked, that's amazing.
Before
Um
just walking in.
yeah.
Yeah, I know,
Um
I know.
I would love to see like the Ram shit, like their new stadium. Like
SoFi Stadium.
yeah, it looks so futuristic and I think I would enjoy my time there. Hopefully see some celebrities. See them fights that I see on Twitter all the time.
LA, bro. Los Angeles, man. That's a definitely
I'm
want to
trying to
miss.
think of three others because off the top, because you just hit me with that. I was like, what the fuck? Off the top of my head. I do want to go to the Staples Center. I've never
Oh,
been
the
there.
Lakers. I feel
Yeah, I
like
never
that's
been there either.
yeah, that arena that the Lakers venue, honestly, it's
You don't think
legendary.
it's crazy? It
It's
is.
legendary. It's not I don't know. Can you put it in that category like Yankee Stadium? And not the new one, the old one. Like, could you put it there because the Lakers won so many key moments in that building with the championships, Kobe, Shaq. They all played those games at the Staples Center. Those games were played there. Can you put it on that Yankee Stadium level, honestly, or not? Just like I know, just a quick, quick.
Legends were made there. Legends were made there. So I
All
don't
right,
see why not.
yeah. So
It's definitely up there.
yeah, Staples Center. I could see. I could agree with you, with Staples Center. Yeah, that's some place I would definitely like to catch. Definitely a Laker game. I wouldn't go to see the Clips there to be honest because I don't. I just think the Lakers fit so much more better in that building.
It's
Honestly,
like
the
it's like the Mets to New York, Like nobody
oh
wants
no
to
no no
really
no no
see the Mets.
no. It's
Yeah, they
different,
would
bro.
prefer to see the
It's
Yankees.
different, bro. Don't say that shit,
So
bro. Don't say that shit, bro. It's nothing like that. Now you're just talking
listen,
out shit.
bro,
Now you're just talking
I'm
out shit. All right.
I'm gonna take out a futures bet that nobody wants to manage the New York Mets. So manage GM. Anyways, going back
Yo.
to the list
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got.
yeah.
As a Yankee fan, it seems a little crazy that I would want to go here, but I think it's a legendary stadium. It has
I
lots of
know where you're going.
history.
Mhm.
Yes, the Green Monster. I want to go there. I want to be dripped in fucking pinstripes and get cursed out by a bunch of fucking people with Boston accents. Get the fuck out of here. I think that would be a great experience as a Yankee fan
Yeah.
because they always come to Yankee Stadium. We don't say anything to them.
Yeah. I mean, we were there that one time. It was a freaking fight between two Red Sox Yankees fans. You remember
Yeah, that
that
was
day?
amazing. That was
It was gonna.
amazing.
There was going
Great fight.
freaking yeah, freaking crazy, bro. Brawling.
Great
Yeah. I
fight.
mean, good luck to you, bro. Listen. You got. I got your back. But
No, of
yeah,
course, because I had your back when we went to when we went to Citizens Bank.
shit.
It was not fun.
That's one ballpark I do not want to go back to again. Because of the fan base, but that's a whole different story. Uh,
Yes, I get it.
and
And I feel like Eagles fans are a lot worse.
but yeah, no, definitely Fenway. I could see Fenway being one of Fenway's on my list too as well. And
Got one more.
yeah, I mean, it can be anywhere, bro. Honestly,
No,
I know
yeah,
it's
of
kind of,
course, but
I know it's kind of off the rip here, but I just thought maybe you might have some.
no, yeah,
I have
I got one
stadiums.
more.
I have stadiums like that off the rip though. Go ahead though.
Yeah, no, I would want to see Green Bay,
Lambeau Field.
but I
Once
want to
again,
go when it's like fucking I fucking can't feel my fucking legs. I can't feel any part of my body, and we need to huddle up together to be warm.
yo, honestly, that's the true
That's the
NFL.
ultimate, yeah,
That's the
ultimate
ultimate football
experience.
experience. You cannot. I don't think MetLife. You can be in that same condition at MetLife, where it's 10 degrees. You're not gonna feel the same way. Lambeau Field, middle of the frozen tundra. That's the true NFL experience. I feel like
Bro, I know.
forget about paying for like little like 4D experiences. No, you want to go have a freaking, you want to see how it feels like to be in at an NFL game in December, go to freaking Lambeau Field. That'd be great to go in January. I think the best month to go will be January in the playoffs if you're fortunate enough to go, or in December where it's cold. I don't know how the weather is in Lambeau in December, but I'm pretty sure it's not that far off in January where they have these ice bowl games and whatnot. But you know,
I know if I was a reporter, I'd be like, yo, I don't want to fucking do this.
I'll be. You know
Fucking
what
being
I
in that
hate, bro?
cold ass weather.
You know what I hate, bro? Me being a photographer, being on assignment on the sidelines in that building in 10-degree weather, bro. I would hate to be on there, bro. I'll be amazed by what's going on the field, but the experience where I'm freezing my ass off, bro, I would definitely hate to be in that situation, bro. Like that shit would be damn. I had to get the hand warmers out, looking like Tom Coughlin, red face, 2007 NFC Championship, like that 118 kind of thing, like.
This guy.
That's a little inside thing, bro. Yeah, man. No,
Edwin
I
loves
like.
nah, you love the cold weather. And every time it gets cold, Edwin always sends me a voice message. And it's reminiscent of Eli Manning when he was in Lambeau Field and when he won the game, like the audibles that he was calling. What was the audible ad? What was the audible
I
call? You
can't.
remember it?
I know
No,
what the
you can do
audibles
it.
are, bro.
Yes, you
It's.
do.
I know what the. Yo, why you gonna put me on a spot like that, bro? Jeez.
No,
The
bro. When it's
the
under a
people don't.
certain temperature, when it's
Okay, when
under
it.
a
All
certain
right, all right, all right,
temperature,
all right, all right.
what's the audible call?
So when it's cold outside, and as a quarterback, you got to get your calls, you got to get your reads, you got to get your plays out. So Eli Manning being the quarterback, the legendary quarterback he is. It's cold, it's brisk, wind's blowing, it's cold, that cold air when it's freezing, you can see your breath, the wind's just
Yes.
hitting your face.
Mm-hmm.
So you just imagine yourself in that position, being behind the center, ready to take a snap, not a shotgun, regular I formation. And you should be like, this 118, 245, 42 blue. And then he'll look around like, and you try to analyze the defense like 42 blue. Watch number five on two. And then the two hike, like, go. And then there you go. Like every time I channel a cold, like when it's cold, and you're gonna get pretty cold in here. And you know this. Everybody knows this.
Bro,
You
it
live in the
has
winter.
not been getting. No, it's not
No, recently,
cold.
not recently,
It's
but
not as cold anymore.
Winter's past. There's been
Yeah.
days where it's like 20, 19 degrees, and you're like, shit. So I would send a little voice clip, and then to channel that energy, we're like, yo, imagine playing in this weather. You're freezing your ass off, and you got nothing on but your pads and your little thing over here. So then I'll be like, it's kind of like the Lambeau Field outside. And knowing
Yes.
that, and knowing my boy here, Darryl's like, yo, I get what you're saying. It's stupid, but I get what you're saying though. Like,
Yeah, it's like I know exactly what you're saying, but like why you're saying it out of the blue is just like why the fuck. But every year it's cold, and we've been friends for a very long time.
I
So
just
we
associate
spent
with it, bro. It's kind of you associate
yes,
certain things with the cold weather.
no,
That's
yes.
that's just how it is. Honestly, sometimes where you're like, yo, it's that Lambeau Field outside, and everybody else picks up on it. You're not the only one.
Oh yeah, of course. And
We got our group that picks up on it, and I think it's just. I like how you mentioned Lambeau Field for number 5. Probably because of one reason, to be honest. Keep it,
yeah,
yo. All right. There you go. There
you
you
put
go.
me on the spot, and then like I came up with good like places that I think
Uh
would be
huh.
interesting. I'm a New Yorker. New Yorkers generally don't leave the state. You know,
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm 24. This is the first year I ever traveled the country. I never left this fucking country, let alone
Yeah.
New York. It's hard to let me leave New York. I don't know,
I
but
mean,
I
yeah.
managed to do it. You know, so
That's an achievement right there, man. That's an achievement. People might not see it as an achievement, but I see it as an achievement. I never left the country. I mean, I've been in different states, but I never left the United States. Not that I'm scared to, but I just never had reasons to. Never had reasons to go out of the country, but definitely got to
yes,
do that
yes.
soon. That's a good top 5 though, bro. I like that top 5 definitely. I would add my top 5 would be a little bit different. Um,
Let's hear it.
Honestly, I would have put my number 1 ballpark for me. Oh, just in general now. Forget about I already said ballpark already. I'd put Wrigley as number 1, Chicago Cubs. That's
Interesting.
one place I want
Historic.
to visit. Yeah, historic. It's almost on that Fenway level. Like for me, that's kind of my I guess it's the bucket list one. I guess the Chicago Cubs Wrigley Field. Number 2 that I haven't visited. Um, I'd put Fenway. Fenway is definitely number 2 for me. Fenway's another ballpark, like you mentioned. It's historic ballpark. It's in that category with Wrigley, Green Monster, the rivalry. I'll definitely go there with. I mean, I'll try to go there when the Mets are playing, but for the most, so I probably come in there with a Red Sox cap on, or just come with neutral. Honestly, I
Don't be fake, bro. Don't be fake.
don't know. No,
You only rock with them to be
I'm
petty
like,
towards me.
oh, of course. I mean, we wouldn't be best friends. That wasn't the case. We wouldn't be brothers. That wasn't the case. You're not
Yeah,
gonna do that.
whatever. Whatever.
Number 3. Damn, man, there's a lot of different places, a lot of
You
different
had your
stadiums.
list. I thought you had your list though.
No, but there's a lot of options that I could pick from that. Like number 3, like the top 2 are those two. My
Uh-huh.
number 3, I definitely want to visit Dodger Stadium.
Huh, that's a good one.
Dodger Stadium is a good one as well.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of NFL stadiums, I would like to visit Jerry World once. The Cowboys, they have I think it's the biggest one
It
in
is.
at an entire at everything. To be honest, that's one arena that's one stadium that's on definitely on my list. And number 5, damn, number 5. I don't know. Number 5 is there's a lot of different ones that I like to pick. I'm trying to pick something from like the NBA, like one of those NBA arenas that kind of just like I wanted to try to visit. Um, I would definitely like to check out the Sacramento Kings Golden Center. I saw how they have a window outside, and you can see outside from directly inside the arena. That's one of the state arenas I'd visit in the NBA. Honestly, it's kind of a weird top 5, but something. I don't put NFL. There's not really an NFL one. Like Lambeau's a good one. I like Lambeau. Lambeau's definitely Chicago. That's another one I put on my list as well. The Superdome. I had those honorable mentions. Those 3 right there where the Saints play. But yeah, man, I like those 3, man. I like, hey, the top five is great. I have obviously more of a baseball oriented thing. The course field thing, definitely Colorado. We gotta, you know, come a little fried to the game. It's a good time nonetheless, though.
Yeah, bro. Since we're wrapping this up, I also want to bring to the amateurs that Correa Watch is back, and we got some burning news. Coming from straight from the fucking horse's mouth. Brian Cashman himself said that we're negotiating with agents representing free agent shortstops. And I just want to say, Ed, where's your GM? And what is he doing? Is he a fucking ghost? Because right now, the dreams that you had about this infield that was like, impossible to compose from a logistical standpoint is becoming more than just a dream to you. And whatever I said sounded like it was a reality. So my question to you, Ed, the Yankees are obviously pushing very hard to get a shortstop in the offseason, and not just a shortstop, a very big name shortstop. And this is from Brian Cashman. He said, I don't give a fuck what none of y'all think about Carlos Correa. I think he's a great player, and I think he would fit well in our Yankee offense and defensive plans. Edwin, how do you feel knowing that whatever I said sounded like bullshit, but it is actually true as a Met fan? And who do you think is going to be a fucking GM? Because y'all are slacking.
All right. To answer your question, right?
Yes.
Now, I don't know who this Carlos Correa is. I never heard of the guy. So I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
I don't know where he came from.
Yeah.
I heard he's a cheater somehow.
But if he was a Met, he wouldn't be a cheater and he would be welcome and beloved, right?
Regardless, you know what? Fuck this shit. He's a fucking cheater, right?
Ignore the
He's
question.
a fucking cheater, bro, right?
He's a cheater.
Listen. Now I'm gonna tell you, Carlos Correa is a cheater. He cheated you guys out of a freaking World Series appearance, possibly a fucking ring. He cheated the Dodgers out of a ring, right? I'm glad they lost this year, to be honest, because I would have to hear more of this crap about him, even more, right? My thoughts on this whole situation. Now, he posted a little story last week, him being in New York, kind of stirred the hot
stove
up.
UFC.
Catching a UFC by Penn Station.
I was in the Yankee navy blue.
In the navy blue, yeah. There's a lot of there's a lot of steam right there. There's a lot of gas you up, He was feeling fucking great about it, and rightfully so. You should be feeling great about it. If a guy like him has that kind of that pull towards the city now, he obviously considers New York to be an option. I don't know why he doesn't consider the Mets to be an option, but I ain't gonna speak on that. But
because that team doesn't know who is managing them. That team does not know
I was gonna get there.
Who's signing the contracts, who's negotiating the money. So, continue. Sigue.
Cálmate. All right, I'm gonna tell you my thoughts. All right, nobody wants to manage and even general manage the Mets, and they're having a lot of tough times. They're having a very tough time to get free agents and to pull free agents. Now, I mentioned to you before, and a lot of people on this podcast, if they remember, that I mentioned that they have a CBA negotiations that are coming up. CBA, MLB Players Association, and Major League Baseball that might delay a lot of the transactions for free agency from December on to February almost if they don't get a deal done soon. So the fact that a lot of these teams are kind of rushing to get stuff done before the CBA expires. So that's a lot of people pushing for this month and some of December to try to get some deals done. The Mets have no leverage here where they don't even have anybody leading the front office and nobody to be the skipper. Like, who the hell do you put as a skipper if you don't have no GM? Everybody is like, they're being turned away by the opportunity to manage the Mets. And I understand it's a big market and it's a very big task to manage a team in New York. I don't think anybody wants. Would you want to take that job knowing you have to manage a team in New York?
The thing about me is, like, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck what you guys think, and that's not something that you say to the media.
You don't say that to a bunch of corporate exactly. People that are investing millions of dollars. You don't say that, but go ahead though.
That's just the type of person I am. I mean, obviously I can keep it professional. I'm employed, but would I manage the Mets? Yeah, sure. Well, fuck it. Why not? It's a job,
Now you're thinking more, what the hell, but knowing how a person like you want to see a winning product though.
Of course.
I know you want to be a winner. You want to be a winner. And as a GM, if I'm not confident enough to manage his team and to produce a winning product on the field, there's obviously going to be a lot of like, nah, I'd rather just pass. I don't want to manage a team like this that has all these issues. And within, they had a lot of controversies. Excuse me, they had a lot of issues with their players, with arguments. Lindor and McNeil. They have a lot of people on free agency that they're not sure they want to sign back. So Sandy Alderson's running the whole entire operation right now. But we have this guy called Adam Cromie that's the leading candidate. Like, according to what I heard, he's been an attorney for the last 4 years. Prior
Fucking
to that,
attorney.
he was in the Dodgers organization. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do. And then you can't obviously you can't have this going for too long. And then you have people that don't want to resign, like Michael Conforto, which honestly, for him, I don't think he's gonna get that money. I don't think he's gonna have much of what he's looking for. Now, maybe he should have just stayed one more year. I just think so. But hey, his agent thinks he's the king of queens, which is fucking I think that's a clown statement, to be honest. But as an agent, you have to promote your guys kind of like you're promoting something. So as an agent, I guess you would say he's the king of queens, like the aces. Like, he has aces in, like, he's the ace in New York and Queens. Bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, Michael Conforto is a great ball player, but he's definitely not the king of queens. Like,
Who's
get
the king?
that shit out the way. Get it. We had, you know who? You really want to know who's the king of queens?
Jacob DeGrom.
The best fucking ace in the league, right? If it wasn't for the injury this year, he would have won another Cy Young. I'm gonna say that. You've seen his stats. You know how he pitches. I know you're very high on that guy too. As a Yankee fan, I know you're very biased to certain pitchers, but you can agree DeGrom, one of the best, right? All right, there you go. So DeGrom is the king of queens. So let's get that out the way. But you have people like Conforto that's not gonna resign. Syndergaard is obviously, he's gonna. I think Syndergaard's gonna resign personally. I
Didn't they
think he
offer
loves.
him
Yeah, they offer him to
qualifying?
qualify an offer. Yeah, I think he's gonna resign.
It's a
I don't
lot of
think he's
money.
gonna. I don't think he's gonna leave New York. I think going from his social media and how he interacts with the fans a lot, he loves New York. He loves the city. He loves to play in the city. I think as a player like him that's coming off of a pretty, he only had two appearances this entire 2021 season. You have to have, keep him another year, build your stock up, and if the Mets decide after 2022, we'll keep you. If not, if you do terrible, if you get hurt again, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. And then we have Baez. Baez talks are coming up. The Mets are trying to reach out to get a deal done with him soon. I don't know if they'll resign him, but if they do get Baez back, that kind of keeps the infield together. It kind of keeps everything in check. And there's a lot of other players as well. There's a lot of other things. We signing these players, Baez. They're trying to get Chris Bryant. Obviously, the Giants will have him after this. The Giants have the option to resign him, but a lot of fingers are pointing in the direction of the Cubs re-signing him, bringing him back. I don't think he's coming back to Chicago, but the conversations are talking between him and the Mets, stirring up that thing again. So, but you can't have all of this if you had nobody running the squad. So this guy Scott Boras, as much as a clown he is, he mentioned how the hell is anybody gonna want to come to New York when you have nobody manning the ship? Kind of, nobody's there to manage a team. How are you gonna get these free agents to come and play for you guys if there's no leadership? There's nothing right now for them to be like, hey, listen, I want to play for this guy and I want to play for this guy. You can't. There's nothing you can do about it. So to get this deal done fast is definitely a priority for them. And I forgot we had this guy called Robinson Cano, 39-year-old ball player that we have to have for two more years.
Yeah,
and we're
bro.
paying $40 million. How you fucking like
For the
that?
2 years or every year?
Yes, for every year, 40 mil for the. And I don't know, like, that deal was supposed to be done next season because he would have played this year and next year, but it's gonna drag on for another year after the 2023.
Wait, so that's how it works?
Well, it's kind of a lapse. You didn't technically play for that season. They can't, and you got suspended. I mean, like, your old money still, but technically they have to pay you for that extra years because of the suspension. It's kind of
Damn.
stupid, honestly, but yeah, man,
Damn.
it's
40
tough right
million?
now. The off season's kind of off season's getting off to a slow start, but hopefully it'll pick up soon. That's the thing about baseball, man. It's MLB off season takes forever for anything to get done. I told you this before, so don't clown on them. Just don't clown on them, bro. All right.
Listen, bro, I'm sorry, but the Mets they got a real problem there. Um, do you have anything else on the sports side of things? Because I kind of want to move on.
No, I saw your boy that was nominated for Cy Young. I don't know how
Oh
that.
yeah.
I don't know how Garrett Cole gets that nomination, even though he blew it in the playoffs. But that's a whole nother story, though. But I
I'm
know one
like,
game. I know one game doesn't decide your entire season. I understand that,
yeah.
but I think you think it's justifiable that he got a Cy Young vote or Cy Young nomination.
Listen, bro, it's great that Yankee players can get accolades for shit. Obviously, we had a great team. We won a lot of baseball games. I'm happy for them if they win. Um, you know, that's all I can say. I want a chip.
You want the ring? Hey,
You don't get the chip with
but
the
why not?
side. I don't care. I just want to win. Um, yeah, bro. So today, Grand Theft Auto, the remaster came out, and I have to say that game is old as fuck. Because when you're playing the game and you realize like, damn son, this game came out 21 fucking years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Mm-hmm.
when we played GTA 3. Like
Mm-hmm.
they made no like engine improvements. They might have changed like the engine that it runs off of. Like it's on Unreal 4.
Mm-hmm.
It runs like a old like we are so like spoiled with the way video games work now, like the way movement works, the
Yeah.
way mechanics work now. Like if you were to go back and you were to play the old Grand Theft Autos, which is what you're buying when you buy the definitive edition
Mm-hmm.
of the Grand Theft Autos, you feel like, damn son, this is an old fucking game with nice fucking graphics. And those games are iconic, so you're gonna want to keep the way they play. Um, I just think that it was interesting. I was playing Vice City, and I was playing a boat mission. And it was so hard to fucking control the boat compared to obviously a Grand Theft Auto 5 and a Grand Theft Auto 4.
You think the controls that they have for that game? I heard that they updated the controls, but
They
when they
did.
tell me that it's harder to do, like to drive a boat, I was told that they implemented controls from GTA 5, where everything is kind of in that same control how GTA 5 plays, and now you're telling me it's kind of hard to drive a boat. I don't know. I haven't seen anything on in person. I've watched videos of like before and afters, so I can't speak on how the mechanics, how it feels. Playing a game and watching a video is obviously two different things. So until you actually play the game, so I can't say on look, like it doesn't feel right. It feels kind of weird. It looks great, like
Oh
upscaled.
yes,
It looks great
no
though.
denying
Like
that.
seeing it from you're being how you played it, seeing it firsthand. You think the graphical upgrades that they made, it's I wouldn't say great, but definitely something for a game that's over 20 years old. You think they did a good job of it, or you think they kind of like could have done something different? Could have remodeled the player, remodel the players
I
or
don't
the
have
assets.
I don't have any gripes with the way things look. And then again, I haven't played enough.
Mm-hmm.
I know it looks pretty. You know, it looks visually appealing, but at the same time, it looks so weird to me because like things are so high fidelity, and like at the time, like when you're developing things, you're you're just making things out of shapes, and like
Mm-hmm.
these shapes are so well defined now that it's kind of creepy looking, but it's also cool to look at. And it also gives you like this nostalgic feeling of like, yeah, I used to play these games when I was a kid. I used to go, in a taxi
Mm-hmm.
cab and run people over and then get a hooker, beat the
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
out of her, and then
The
take all of
cop
her
car.
money. Yeah. So I can't believe I did that wild shit when I was a fucking kid. and now that shit is obviously frowned upon now. But yeah, it's a good time. Do I recommend it? Like, yeah, if you're feeling nostalgic, just know that these games are not like Grand Theft Auto. They don't control like Grand Theft Auto. They control like their old games. They're not the games are when they say Grand Theft Auto 5 controls, what they mean is like the weapon wheel. Like
Really?
they added the weapon wheel to Grand Theft the older Grand Theft Autos, and that's all they did. They didn't add like driving controls. The driving controls is the same as the old games. They kept the games the same.
I thought it was more of like changing everything the way that the. I mean, you can't change the physics of a game, obviously, if unless you build it from the ground up. I don't know. Would you rather have prefer them to go that route or what they did here? Where you building the game from the ground up, where you're building different player models, where you kind of have it look like a GTA 5 almost, or maybe even a GTA 4 almost. Like,
The
GTA 4
thing is
wasn't
they
far off, but
the thing is they did make adjustments to the character models. The thing is they just look a little they
yeah,
look
cartoony
weird.
almost, like
No,
cartoony.
they maintain like the style of the game. It's just it's so weird when you look at it. It's my personal opinion. You might think it looks like amazing. That's great. I just think it looks like weird, you know?
Is it kind of? They used to have the original games used to be like on a Canon camera, like a very like kind of like straightforward, where it's just not like how GTA 5 you can roam around basically everywhere. Like GTA 4 introduced that, whereas not where you're locked onto like one camera angle, kind of like you can move around in the game, but you can't do what you could do in like the other games, the games that came afterwards. Is it kind of because of that the way they have that same play style and but does it have anything you could take out of it though? Maybe something you would do different about it. You have like your opinion on that.
I don't think I would do anything different with those games. Those games are classics. They literally established the behemoth that Rockstar is today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a nice little love letter. Me, I'm a PC guy, so I'm waiting for mods to come out and I'll play it then. I'm excited to get back into San Andreas
I never played
because
San
I know
Andreas, bro. I've
that's
never played.
crazy.
I've never played San Andreas. I played Grand Theft Auto 3. I played Grand Theft Auto 3. I got like halfway through the game, if I remember. Vice City, I might have played like the first few hours of the game, but I never really got into Vice City. For me, Vice City Stories on PSP was like that game that kind of like if they would have redo that game, I would definitely that would have been a cop for me automatic. But
So look, hold that. So
mhm,
Vice City Stories, right?
yeah,
So you know everything about Vice City Stories. You know what the map looks like.
hmm
And you know, like on that PSP screen, like it was just like they took whatever was in Vice City and they put it in
yeah,
a
and Vice City
PSP.
Story, yeah,
So they reuse those assets. So for me, like my favorite was Liberty City Stories. I played Liberty
hmm
City Stories. That
hmm
was like one of my favorite ones I used to play on the PSP all the time. You know the map. The map is the same. They reused assets from Grand Theft Auto 3 and they made a different story, which is great. Um, so when you start playing this game and you see like the visual fidelity, how it's like on steroids, it's gonna blow you away. It's gonna really blow you away because you're used to seeing it as one thing and now it's another. Granted, you're still playing a game that was basically, created in 2002, so you're going to have those pain points of a game that was created in 2002,
uh-huh.
like the modern GTAs, how they have checkpoints and stuff like that. Those games are a lot less forgiving. Just keep that in mind if you've never played Grand Theft Auto. It's not like the newer ones, you know.
Yeah, like the older style was, if I remember correctly, mm, I know you would have to go to like, if I remember, if not, damn, taking me back now. You used to have safe houses where you had to save your
Yes.
game at.
Yes.
GTA 4 kind of did that a little bit, where you have to go to your safe house to save. Before there was no such thing as an auto save where the game would just save by itself. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe they implemented in this one. Did they implement it
They
in this
did.
one?
They
Okay,
did.
so back then it was never like that. You had to go to the safe house and hit a save point and all of that other stuff. So I'm used to that kind of that part of like the mechanic of the game where you have to go and like every time you finish a mission, all right, I gotta
Gotta
go
go back.
drive back to the safe house. Or you
Yes.
want to get your car repainted to get away from the cops, you gotta go to the paint spray. I remember the name of that shit. So I'm interested to go to see how that going back to that kind of where you have to go and do that compared to having you going to Los Santos Customs or anything, those other places that you'd have to go in the new ones. I want to try to. I'm probably gonna look into purchasing the game. Though I went away from mods. I mean, I don't really mod stuff to begin with. I play pretty much, how I play games, pretty vanilla. So
Yeah, you're a casual.
I'm not a casual. Calm down now.
You're casual,
But
bro.
they got ray tracing, bro. They got RTX.
Yeah, yes, bro. It has ray tracing, it has
RTX.
DLSS, it has
This
all
thing
that
had
stuff.
DLSS too. Yeah, I heard it had DLSS. I'm
Yes, bro.
hey, I want to try to. I'm definitely gonna try to play those games for sure. Another game that had recently dropped. Now, yesterday, I was very high in this game, and I played the one before this. Racing games, racing simulators. They're pretty much some people like them, some people don't. But the new Forza Horizon 5 came out, and I thought that game graphically and gameplay wise looks like the best game I played this year in terms of graphically. It's the first true next gen game I played on the PC, honestly. Like compared to having it like in comparison to where it's on Xbox Series X. No, they're all together in that same next gen category. And I played that game yesterday and it was amazing to see the progression and to see a game like that, basic next gen game, to see how it
Yes.
plays and how it runs. You played it today yourself. Now, what do you think? You think I'm kind of, I wouldn't say overreacting, but do you think now that you've played a game like that and on your build on your PC where you could kind of max out everything, you could
Yes.
put full throttle on the graphics, full throttle on the fidelity, and then you have your frames, and you have a pretty great PC that can run games at a great frame rate. You're
Yes.
not locked
I'm
at 30, you're
blessed.
not locked at 60. You can
Yes.
play a game that's pretty high. How do you think? And is this like your first experience as well playing a kind of a next gen title?
Uh so listen, I am so excited to see where gaming is going because it's very dull. Companies are
Mm-hmm.
they're playing it safe, just a lot like Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So when I booted up Forza, I kind of knew what I was getting into. I knew it
Mm-hmm.
was just gonna be like a racing game, but the thing is, like, it's an open world game. But the problem with a lot of open world games is that there's not a lot of shit to do. There's just shit everywhere, but nothing to do. The thing
Main
is,
mission.
yes, yes, and that's it. Like after that, it's like why the fuck am I doing all these fucking chasing missions? And it's just repetitive. Spider-Man got like that for me. That's one of the games that come off the top of my head. But like I played Forza, and there's just so much shit to do, and there's so much fun to be had. I don't even like cars. I'm not a car guy. I don't care if, like, people like certain racing sims and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Forza is not that. Forza reminds me, you know what Forza reminds me of? When
Mm-hmm.
you go to the arcade and you go and you put your coins or you put the Dave and Buster card in and you play those over the top racer games.
You
That's what
just
that
go.
game is. It's just no, because the thing is, you're having just so much fun. There's speed traps set throughout the map. They want you to max out your speed on this given trail. There's
Mm-hmm.
ramps that you can just fucking fly up and fucking,
Yeah.
there's just so, and that's not even covering half of it. There's races. And then, like, when you're in the races, you see your friends are in the race. I was racing you today, Ed. I was racing you and a couple of other of my friends in my friends list. I was like, why is my friend in this list? It just makes you feel like, you're playing with your friends, even though your friends
Connected.
are not
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
you feel connected. Listen, that is like probably a true next gen racing arcade
Mm-hmm.
experience. It's
Mm-hmm.
just as fun as it gets. Straight up fun. And it's not asking you for microtransactions. It's giving you so much shit. Like, oh, you like this nice, fancy, fast car? Take that shit. It's yours. Get that shit,
Mm-hmm.
Because that's honestly the ultimate goal of fucking playing like the racing game. You want to get the
Yeah,
fastest car possible and do
progression.
all the cool shit.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I actually think that I could see myself playing Forza Horizon, later
Well, there you
more
go.
more than I usually would. So I'm actually pretty excited to have that hold me over until Halo comes out.
Yeah, another true next gen title. Another true next gen title.
Yes.
It's kind of the thing that I want to mention. Certain games are coming out on, since we're on the topic of this PC thing. There's certain games that are coming out that were originally on other consoles that are making their way to PC now. Now we all have had PlayStations. We've had PS4s. Me and you, respectfully, we all have
Yes.
PS4. We still play them sometimes. Um, and then they're bringing games over. An example A, God of War, and example B, Uncharted, to these PC platforms, to the PC gaming community. Now, do you have everything? Now that you have everything there, bringing in everything that you have for this game to the to the PC community, where they could pretty much you could pretty much do whatever the game limits you to do. Like a game is only, there's certain settings you can put on a game. You can max it out. Like I mentioned, you can max out Forza. These games that are coming in from a console like the PS4, which made God of War look amazing for a console that was already at the time like 6 to 7 years old at the time when God of War came out for PS4. Now you're bringing it to a much more capable piece of hardware. Like that's something I like to be. That's something to be excited about. I'm excited to see the way it looks uncapped, unframed at a 1440p resolution or 4K resolution if you're fortunate enough to do that. That's a crazy thing about gaming and in general between consoles and PCs, how there's less of limitations now in
Yeah.
terms of what you could put on developers can put how much they can put on it, as long as the hardware can, as long as how to say, not your hardware can take it, but how much your hardware allows it, I guess you could say. I don't know if I'm wording it right, but is it like some, I don't know, how would you say that, bro? Like your limitations, they're not as much, you're not as limited to what you can do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not limited. Like the software will be unlocked with PC.
Yeah, now they have a game, God of War and Uncharted. Like those two games for me are like super amped up to play those games. It's kind of like Horizon was. Horizon was on PS4, then it came to PC. Days Gone, another great game. Death Stranding's another game. I like
Yeah.
what I've seen from this PlayStation Studios. Basically,
Yeah.
like
I'm
they're
liking it too.
Sony's like, yo, we're not gonna have this kind of this wall between us. PlayStation and
No,
Sony are
because
like,
look,
yo, we're putting this stuff on PCs, and it's more of a reason now because a lot of people are on PC. Where this before, you didn't have a lot of people playing PC games. You might have people
mhm,
that are very much into like those MMOs and those strategy games that you kind of play, like Civ and StarCraft and Warcraft, and how it used to be before.
yeah,
Now you have people playing, like, you want to play Grand Theft Auto on your PC. You want to play Call of Duty on your PC. I mean, Call of Duty's been out for PC for a while, but you want to play certain games like that now. So now that
yes,
they obviously realize that there's a big market for it now, which is
yeah,
great,
because they
honestly.
saw, they have tons of research to see like Xbox was like, oh fuck it, we're just gonna put all of our games on PC, and they saw that they were having success, and it only made tons of sense to be like, since you guys are having a lot of success, and the PC community is so willing and able to just give you their money,
Mm-hmm.
I think that I want them to give them to give the money to us,
Mm-hmm.
because I want to show you that, when you put big boy games on the PC, you get big boy profits, so that's great. Everybody wins in this case. Everybody gets to share a great experience. God of War is an amazing game, very
Yeah.
great reboot.
Mm-hmm.
um I wouldn't say it's a reboot, but like it's a reboot type sequel because it does, take from the older
Yeah.
games. And
Kind of continue from the story, basically. I
yeah,
get what you're
but like
saying though.
that
Yeah.
story well written, characters amazing. Doesn't do anything like to like blow you away gameplay wise, but like obviously the axe is the most like appealing thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh shit. Like when I remember seeing it like in E3 when he threw the axe and he called it back. I was like, holy shit.
On some Thor kind of
That's
shit.
fucking
On some Thor kind
yeah.
of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
So I just think that we're all winning as a gaming community. It's interesting. We started talking about gaming. We just went off on a crazy
You
tangent.
know, man, games allow you to get out of your kind of the real world almost. And a lot of people frown upon that you play video games.
A
That's
lot
just
like
a way if
sports
you.
though.
What do you mean?
Like when you immerse yourself in the
Oh yeah,
the
no, yeah,
world of
yeah.
sports.
It's, yeah, definitely.
It's entertainment.
It kind of it kind of takes you out of what you're dealing with. You might be dealing with like a lot of stuff at life. You might be dealing with a lot of different things, and you play a game. It gives you a few minutes to escape what you've been doing. Kind of give you like a way to kind of forget about things for a little bit. Honestly, that's
Yeah,
something
bro. I
that's
feel like
crazy.
I feel like this should be like a safe haven for people that like sharing what they love. You know, like we
Hmm.
love sports. We love talking like about sports and video games and stuff like that. So it's cool to go off on a tangent like that.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
anything else for me, Ed?
Anything else for you, boss? Truth be told, I think we covered a lot. This a lot of things went on this week. In terms of the sports, the OBJ news, stuff going on, Major League Baseball. I didn't. Oh, another thing. Uh, so we obviously follow the NBA a lot, right?
Oh yeah, I love the
We obviously
NBA.
knew who won the MVP last year.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Nikola Jokic, right? Or I don't know if it's in the right wrong.
Joker.
His name wrong. The Joker,
Yeah,
plays for the Nuggets, won MVP. He had little of a bit of a push come to shove with Raheem Morris that plays for the Miami Heat. I know you saw the video, and I know
we
people
have.
listening to this probably saw it as well. If you haven't, check it out. It's been everywhere. You know how Morris plays? He's kind of a gritty kind of guy, and
Yeah,
they had everybody going at it on Twitter, and they had this whole beef going on between him and his brother because he has a twin that plays in the league too. Then you have Jokic who has his brothers trying to talk about, yo, I'll meet you in Miami. Like, we're gonna like sort this out for real. What's your thoughts on this whole situation? And you think it was justifiable that he got suspended for one game, even though it was kind of provoked? Because you saw again, Morris, he kind of provoked the attack. And obviously, if
yeah,
I'm not, you're gonna fucking push him. I'm gonna fucking push you back. I don't give a shit. Like,
yeah.
I might be the MVP, but I'm gonna stand my ground. I don't give a damn. You think it's justifiable that he got suspended and some because the NBA clearly doesn't know what he's been doing because Morris is kind of like that guy.
No, the NBA knows.
Yeah, the NBA knows. Yeah, but I don't
The
think it's
NBA
just. You think it's
knows.
justifiable he got suspended? What's your thoughts on the whole situation?
My thoughts on the whole situation is that Jokic is actually that type of guy too. He's very gritty. He's all
Mm-hmm.
up in your face.
Yep.
The thing is, you are MVP. You are most valuable player. People look up to you. The kids that are
Mm-hmm.
watching at home, they
Yep.
want to see you perform at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be doing shit like that, no matter what happens to you on the court. What you want to do is show up and like bang the three in his face. If do whatever you gotta do to like shut him up. He was wrong, and Morris obviously he's always been like that. Joker's been like that too. So
Yeah.
I just think it's. I think what's crazy is that they got all the brothers involved and that
On
shit.
Twitter,
Just
bro.
bro, NBA be having the craziest storylines,
The
bro, and they be
craziest
having
beef,
like
son.
they be having
Craziest shit.
WWE type storylines, bro. Crazy, bro.
This is the
That's my
most.
take on that.
It is the most. Let me just add this here. It is the NBA is it's kind of on some WWE thing, but the NBA is the most entertaining league outside of what they do on the court.
Basketball,
There's a
yes.
lot outside of basketball. They do off the court things that they have is a lot of them. Obviously this happened in game. The shoving him getting pushed and all of that, and then the brothers going on Twitter like that happened. outside of on Twitter, and then you have all these other storylines. LeBron did something today. I'm not getting into that, but LeBron did something. LeBron always has something to say. Durant is always very vocal on Twitter as well. One of those known guys. Durant's always to get clap back at the fans. Is the most like it's kind of like you mentioned, like it is a WWE thing. I don't see
Yeah,
that.
bro.
I don't see MLB doing that. And the NFL. Oh man, you did an
God
NFL, man.
forbid. God
Goodell's
forbid
gonna
our players think.
Goodell's gonna fucking slam the hammer on your head. But you want to do
Yeah.
this shit? Watch. Gonna send you a nice check in the mail. Be like, you better sign this. You better pay this freaking fine. Let somebody do that in the NFL, bro. That ain't cutting it, bro.
It's all about the shield, baby.
Oh yeah, gotta respect the shield, bro.
Alrighty, guys, that concludes today's episode of The Amateurs. If you like what you saw, subscribe. Follow us on Discord. Follow us on, Twitter and Instagram. We got a TikTok. Thanks for riding with us today, and we'll see you next week on The Amateurs. Peace.